for this first exercise, we just need to find a table. Table with 4 legs. You want to get back enough, far enough away from the table. It doesn't matter how big that table is. It can be quite small, that's fine. Doesn't need to be this big, this is a pretty big table. And we are going to make, with a regular pencil, I'm using a drawing pencil, but you can use a regular pencil if you need to. A drawing pencil is probably better, but it doesn't really matter. And we're going to make 7 to 8 lines. That's all we're going to do. The key is we want those lines to be the right length at the right angle. So basically there'll be a line for each side of the table, and there'll be a line for each leg. That's all we're doing. We're indicating the height, the length of the legs, and the angle and length of the sides. That is it. And so we're gonna use a little technique where we're actually gonna put our head to our shoulder and hold up our pencil, and we're gonna get the angle, and we're gonna transcribe that and transcribe that over to our page. So the first thing I'm gonna do is actually draw something that I would use for a unit of measurement. So the only thing, because I'm really close to this table and it's really big, the only thing I can use is from actually this corner to this corner. That length is going to be my unit of measurement. I'm going to use that for everything else. And so if I know about how big I want the table here, I'm simply going to hold my pencil out, hold my head over, use one eye, which I'm using my right eye. Okay, I'm just looking at how high everything else is. 1, 2, and a little bit more. So the legs are a little bit more. So first I'm going to get an angle. Get this angle right here. And it actually doesn't matter if I draw this length too long at first. I can make it really long. It doesn't matter. I'm just trying to get the angle. And then I can decide to put the other sides anywhere along that I want to. So if I want to measure that compared to how tall that is, I can mark that on there right now. It's probably not the best thing. Table leg would be easier, or the side would actually be easier thing to use as a measurement. I'm just using this because I'm crazy. So I'm just going to arbitrarily decide on here how big that is. And that will determine how big my table is. So if I make it this tall, if I know I'm going to here somewhere, then I know somewhere my back table is going to hit that point, which gives me a reference for how tall everything else is. So if I put this corner in the corner, I can, again, holding my pencil like this, I can make sure not to point the pencil. You want to keep it flat like a clock, like a propeller of an airplane or something, and then turn it like a dial until I get the right angle. Sometimes you want to point things along an edge. That will mess everything up. You want to keep it flat to yourself and turn it. Alright. Let's double check that. That is right. So I have 2 angles in a corner, and I don't have anything measured to size yet. So if I take that and I turn that this way, it's 1 3/4, that measurement. So if I arbitrarily decide, actually I'm going to have to use one of these. Let's just make it this wide. And that's going to have to determine everything else now. So if I take that, it's about 3/4 of that. So this distance, 3/4. That just happens to be about there, so that's good. How long is it? How long is this compared to that? Let's see, let's break that in half actually, maybe it's easier. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3 and a half. So I broke this in half and I went 1, 2, 3 and a half. That puts the end of the table right here. So now I can hold my pencil straight out again. I can get that angle in the back. I know the other one's there, but if I hold this at an angle, I should be able to get this angle right here. And these are literally just up and down. I just want to get them the correct size, really. And that half size for that side width, I cut this in half and used that. That was actually the most convenient thing for me to use and measure things out at. And it's going to be 1, 2, 3. So is that the same over there? 1, 2, 3. So the front legs are 3, and the back legs are 1.5. So if I break this in half again, I get this measurement, and I go 1, 2, 3. My front legs are actually down here. And these are 1.5, so 1.5 puts them here. 1.5 puts them there. So basically I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 lines. So basically all I did was make the structure for the table. So I measured angles and I measured proportions. That's something we're going to get into more later, but this is just a practical exercise in trying that out before we really get deep into it.